Hi guys, I'm Tia. They call me all things customer service here at Goody Beads. I'm very excited. I am here to launch our new Elements kit, which I designed. The inspiration from the kit came from all of you guys asking what you do with gemstone chips. Today I'm going to go ahead and go over just the basics of getting started on the necklace, and there's also a bonus project in this kit. It is a wire wrapped memory wire bracelet, and show you how to start both of them and end both of them. And we will get started here in just a sec. I'm going to go over our list of tools that you will need that are not included in the kit. You will need a 2.25 crochet hook. You can find that at Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, and I'm sure Amazon as well. You will need flush cutters, a bent chain nose plier, a chain nose plier, and for the memory wire bracelets, you will need a memory wire finishing plier and a memory wire shearer. Please do not try to use your good tools to make a loop or cut memory wire. You will destroy them. In the kit, you will receive everything that you need to make the necklace and the bracelets. Everything is laid out for the bracelet. We have chalcedony, orange chalcedony chips, we have check glass, and we have our 6mm round gemstones. These are ancient agates. Our clasp, jump rings, we have clamshells, S-Lon, and we will get started here shortly. I am going to show you guys how to do beaded crochet today. I would like to challenge you guys to try something new. It looks hard, but it is not. To get started making your chain, you're just going to do your basic crochet hold, I like to call it. You're going to wrap around your pinky, come around the back of your fingers and over your index finger. You're going to create your slip stitch by twisting and creating a loop. You'll put your hook into the loop, and you're going to go ahead and pull your thread through that loop to create your slip knot. Your slip knot is what controls your tension. Use your pointing finger, and you're just going to continue doing this until you have 15 consistent chain stitches. It may take you a couple of times of doing this before you have the feel for it. I would recommend trying it a couple of times without gemstones before you go ahead and start dropping your gemstones. Once you have 15 consistent chain stitches, you're going to go ahead and drop your first gemstone. You're going to want to snug it up as close to your hook as you can. And you're going to come around the gemstone and pull the strand through. You're going to snug that up and continue crocheting. Each strand is going to start out the same. The difference between the 3 strands is going to be the number of beads and the number of stitches in between. This particular one is going to have 8 in between. So we'll do 8 chain stitches, 8, and drop our next gemstone. You'll continue doing this pattern until you have completed this strand. This particular strand has 8 in between until the very last. Once you drop your very last gemstone, you will do 15 chain stitches. So we'll do one more gemstone, and then we'll go ahead and show you guys how to put your clasp on, and then we'll move on to the bracelet. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once you've made it to the end of your 15 chain stitches, go ahead and open up your loop. You're going to go ahead and use your flush cutters to cut your strand free from the S-Lon. Set that aside, and you're going to go ahead and pull until you have the end free. Tug it up to where you have a knot. If you pull on the end of the S-line the other way, you will unravel everything you just did. So you have your strand. You're going to need your clamshells and your jump rings. You're going to pull your strand through the bottom of your clamshell and tie a knot to keep it on. You're going to want to make sure that your knot is large enough to keep it from coming back through the bottom of your clamshell, because this is what is going to hold your clasp on. So you're going to snug this down. Snug it up, and then bring your clamshell up. Trim the remaining stitches off. I usually like to use my crochet hook to tuck all of my little strands in, and then you'll use your chain nose pliers to carefully close your clamshell. As you're closing your clamshell, there's a loop on either side of your clamshell. You're going to want to make sure they line up, otherwise you won't be able to get your jump ring through. You're going to want to open your jump ring. I like to use my bent chain nose and my chain nose to open them. Going to open it by twisting. Go ahead and slide your clamshell on, and then we'll go ahead and slide your jump ring through one of the sides of your clasp. Your magnetic clasp is going to want to hang on to your pliers because it's magnetic. So if you catch the edge, it makes it a lot easier. We're going to go ahead and flip this over, and we're going to repeat this on the other side. Bring it through, snug it up to your bead. Go ahead and make your knot. Snug your knot down. And then bring your clamshell up. Trim. Again, use your chain nose pliers. Just make sure that your loops are lined up, and then go ahead and give it a good squeeze. Add your jump ring. Twist. You'll go ahead and add this to the other side of your clasp. There you are, and you will go ahead and do that with the other 3 strands of your necklace. All right, guys, so now we are going to go ahead and go over the basic steps that you need to start your memory wire bracelet and finish it as well. To start it off, I generally like to take a little over a foot of wire off. And set that aside. Your memory wire comes already cut for you. You have your orange chalcedony chips, your round gemstones, and your check glass again. I've already strung these on. And to start the bracelet, I always start by turning my loop so I don't lose my gemstone. So you're going to use your memory wire finishing pliers, And you're going to grasp the end of your memory wire and turn your end. Take your time, get it nice and snug, and then you're going to go ahead and just break the neck of it. Twist it just a titch. And this is going to be the first end of your bracelet. Snug your loop down just a little bit so your gemstones and your wire don't go anywhere. On your opposite end, I always like to go ahead and do the same thing. I just turn what I call an ugly loop, because when we're done wire wrapping, we'll go ahead and trim. So I'm just gonna not even worry about what this loop looks like. Its only purpose is to keep my gemstones from going anywhere while I'm wire wrapping. So we'll go down to the end with our pretty loop. And I'm going to slide our gemstones down. To start this bracelet, you're going to grab your wire that you cut free from the roll. And you're going to start right below your loop. And you're going to make 4 snug wire wraps. Don't be too concerned with how pretty they are right now, because I'm going to show you a trick to make you look like a pro. Some would say it's cheating. I don't think so. Once you get your 4 wraps, you're going to slide your first gemstone down. When you do that, go ahead and grasp your loop and snug your gemstone down. When you do that, it's going to make your loops come snug together. So you'll look like you've been wire wrapping forever. You're going to come over your first bead and you're going to make 4 more snug wraps. Each time you come through, just kind of straighten your wire out a little bit so you don't wind up with a tangled mess. Once you have your 4, again, go ahead and bring down your next gemstone. As you do that, push against your wire wraps and it goes ahead and snugs them up so they look like they are perfect. Again, come over. 4 more wire wraps. This bracelet, as it progresses, there's several spots where the number of wire wraps changes. So once you get all your beads strung and start wire wrapping, just pay attention. And you know, if you forget or you want to change the number of wire wraps, you're always welcome to do that too. If you should get your wire tangled, it's not that big of a deal. Just calmly untangle it. Your 4th wrap. Bring it down. Come over. This wire really likes itself. Everyone here always thinks wire wrapping is so hard. And then I show them all these little tricks and they think it wouldn't be so bad. So hopefully you guys agree with that. I will warn you, if you have a cat, this is their favorite part. I have a 15-pound Mancoon, and she loves to chase the wire. Do a couple more wraps. How many wraps you have in between can change the look of the bracelet. If you want the gemstones closer together, you do fewer wraps. If you want them further apart, you're going to do more wraps. When I designed the bracelet, I tried to do both. So as the bracelet wraps around you, it looks a little bit different in different spots. Once you make it to the end of all of your beads, all you're going to do to finish the bracelet is turn another loop that matches the one that you did in the very beginning. So once you've made it to the end of your wraps, you're going to go ahead and trim the excess from your bracelet. I always say that you're going to want probably a little over 1/2 inch. Trim that off. You're also going to go ahead and trim your wrapping wire. And then you're going to want it to go the same way as your first one. So you're going to go ahead and take the small end of your memory wire finishing tool and go ahead and wrap your loop, snug it in, and you're going to want to grab your flush cutters and just trim your wire. All right, guys, now that you have these techniques, I'm hoping that I can challenge you guys to try something new. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me at customerservice@goodybeads.com. All the links for everything you need are below. The kit has 4 different colorways. I'm hoping that that will leave one that everybody will like. I hope you guys will give it a try. Have a great day and happy beading.